السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا. Welcome, guys. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time, enjoying yourselves. Right, my name is Jakat Zaman, and this is the Friday live stream. Let me just this camera a bit. Okay, that's better. Yeah, so Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Friday, as you guys know, another day. You guys can see my light over here. So what I've done is basically I've actually pushed the camera a bit further back as I can, and that's why I'm able to get more of the picture in. Yeah. So unfortunately, this is a bit too bright, so it's creating a lot of darkness. So much nur. That's it. That's the answer. Too much nur, guys. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful time enjoying today. I had Jum'ah. And as you guys usually know, in Jumas, I got to give talks and then I get a bit tired in my Jumas. All right, so Kalibala Sophie, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Darashad, wa alaikum assalam. My brother, I hope you are well. I hope you're enjoying yourself, having a wonderful time. And who else? Danish Muhabbat. MashaAllah, beautiful name. Danish Muhabbat, wa alaikum assalam. Man fada wa alaikum assalam. Does lam added to a fi'al mudari turn the meaning into madi? Yes, it does. What is the point using it with fi'al mudari if it can? So it's basically the Arabs have done it. So I mean, it's their language, obviously. So the Arabs have done it in the past, and we just follow what they've done. But the difference between ma daraba and lam yadrib is that ma is used for negation. In other words, it's used to refute someone as well. Whereas lam is like me, for example, saying to you, it did not rain yesterday. I use lam. Yeah, lam yanzil al matar. But for example, if you're adamant that no, it did rain, no, it did, I would use ma nazal al matar. Yeah, so basically, it has the meaning of like negation with refutation in there as well. Rona Hakim, alaikum assalam, alhamdulillah. Is having a job that requires sandwiches and burgers to be made with haram meat and product permissible? It depends what kind of job it is. I mean, it depends exactly the terms and conditions, what kind of other kind of things the person does. Omar, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ana wa sahlan. Welcome, my brother Omar. Spend, wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. May Allah bless you. I'm very good. Thank you very much for asking. I'm very well. Thank you very much. Yeah, so do you have any advice for doing presentations? I mean, as in front of other people, presentations as in a live audience, is that what you're talking about? My advice would be make sure you keep eye contact with them, make sure you learn your stuff really good, and make sure that you don't have to, for example, like keep referring back to your slides. Yeah, so you have to basically know your stuff inside out. And then inshallah it should be considered to be fine, inshallah. Let me try to fix this a bit. All right. Yeah, in front of people, that's the thing. Yeah, so I would say generally this is what you should try and do. Yeah, try and focus on make sure you know your stuff inside out. Make sure you keep eye contact with people, and body language is very important. So when you're speaking, make sure you're speaking with your hands, and you're not kind of looking down, or you're not kind of just focusing on just a few individuals. Manfado, ahla wa sahla. What masjid do you do Jummah? I do in different mosques every week. So every Friday I have a different mosque I do. Yeah. Darshan, ahla wa sahla. Do you know of any bookstores that provide good quality Islamic literature? Good quality Islamic literature. There's actually the ones that, I mean, a physical bookstore, the one that is a really good one in Birmingham is Darul Makkah. Darul Makkah is a really good one. Spend heard from a brother here in Sweden who said the chicken in Burger King is halal because it comes from UK, and are UK people regarded as Ahl Kitab? No, they're not considered Ahl Kitab. Manfado, how do you prepare your bayans? Do you go for more academic? Um, you know what? I mean, I've kind of changed over the years my bayans. So my bayans over the years have gone through like an evolution. Yeah, gone through an evolution of change. So I mean, on my YouTube channel, I've got some of my old bayans on there. You can check. And today I had a bayan, and maybe I'll put it up. Hopefully, it's kind of like depends. What I find useful nowadays with is the kind of stuff that I put on my social media tweets or posts. I kind of take something I've mentioned in the week, and then I just discuss about that. So today's was about like not belittling even good actions, like doing good small actions. Assalamu alaikum Ahmed, ahlan wa sahlan. How are the early hadith scholars who were traveling to collect hadith supporting themselves and their families? Different. Some people used to charge their students. Some people used to some people used to basically get a fund from the government. They were sponsored by the government. Imam Malik was used to get like a government support, and others, yeah. So others like maybe they would have some other means, family business or something that would help them. Peace be on you. Salam, ahla wa sahlan from the woods. MashaAllah. Long time, my brother. Long time. Hope you're well. Kalibala, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan. Adil, wa alaikum assalam. Ahlan wa sahlan, Adil. Hope you're well. Hope everything's going good with you. Enjoying yourself. Ya Allah. Right. So, Darshan, are there any Islamic bookstores that you know of that offer their books internationally? Yeah, online ones. If you go like online bookstores, yeah. So if anyone has any links to online bookstores, I mean, I don't know any English ones, but I usually get my books, Arabic books. Yeah, so I can find them locally usually. But online ones, I mean, I'm sure if you Google, you'll find some online bookstores that deliver internationally. Where can I find your old tafsir dars when you were in the old building? The problem is a lot of them have been lost. I don't know, couldn't find a lot of them. But I've put some up on my YouTube channel, but a lot of them were unfortunately lost because I used to put it up onto in the olden days we used to have Dropbox and people used to share. And unfortunately, someone that deleted their Dropbox and inadvertently deleted a lot of my videos or recordings. I live in South Africa. I would like to learn more about Islam. Yes, so in South Africa, you would definitely find bookstores there. So if anyone knows of any bookstores in South Africa, then definitely. I mean, I think Johannesburg has probably got bookstores. Durban definitely got bookstores. Cape Town most likely has got bookstores as well. What's the difference between ta'lamuna and ta'maluna? Ta'lamuna means you all know, and ta'maluna means you all do actions. Can you explain the difference of opinion between those who condemn kalam and those who encourage it? Uh, I don't know what you mean about the difference. Are you talking about like why do people condemn it? Is that what you're saying? I think you missed my comment. No, I answered your one. Your one is about the sandwiches, wasn't it? Yeah, so I answered that. Wa alaikum assalam, Aslam Khan al-Hambali, Sheikh Ahlan wa Sahlan. I want to ask about what book should I start after Qatr al-Nada, Mughni al-Labib or Sharh al-Alfiya. So you know what to do after Qatr al-Nada? Do Sharh Qatr al-Nada. If you haven't done the Sharh of Qatr al-Nada, do that because it's very good. Yeah, Sharh Qatr al-Nada, or you can do Mughni al-Labib if you want. If you do Sharh Qatr al-Nada, then after that, Sharh al-Alfiya. The question I want to ask you is, why do you want to study that for? What's your aim? Why do you want to study that for? Do you have like a reason why you want to study one of those two books? Aslam, any sort of book recommendation other than the main ones? I mean, one is the one Mona Hashim's. Yeah, the one that I showed you guys a few weeks back. Yeah, this is a good one. This one's good. Yeah, get this. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Mona Hashim. So it's just been published recently this year, a few months ago. Yeah, that's the details for it. So check that one out. Ya Allah. Right. Zob. Ahlan wa sallam alaikum assalam. Zob, I hope you're well. Liquor FC. Assalamu alaikum. How long would you say it takes for someone to learn to read Arabic from videos, and what channels would you recommend? To learn how to just read Arabic, yeah? Just read Arabic. So I would definitely recommend, obviously, my series on my YouTube channel called Learn to Read the Quran. Learn to Read the Quran. It's a whole series. I've done about 80 videos on it. So check that out. Ahmad, yes. Why do some people encourage studying Kalam? So basically, look, Kalam, let me tell you what Kalam basically is. Kalam is a rational way of trying to understand the universe. That's all it is. So Kalam is a rational way of trying to understand the universe. And then, two, it's a rational way of trying to understand metaphysics, or we call ma wara al-tabi'a, to understand how things work in the other realm. So, for instance, like things like the idea that certain things cannot exist. Like you can never have a square circle. It can never ever exist. So, therefore, having this idea, understanding how these kind of things work, easier to explain. It's like what fiqh is to hadith. Yeah, it's like what fiqh is to hadith. Now, let's say, for example, someone comes to you and says to you, um, why is it not possible that God can create someone else, another God? Or why is it not possible that we can have two gods in this universe, basically? So this is why this is considered to be a very important science, because it just rationalizes things. And the scholars of ilm al-athar, or not ilm al-athar, the athar, the ones that stuck to the narrations of the past, or the athar, so their basic position is that, look, whatever we're told, we just stick to that and we don't delve into it any further. Yeah, whatever we're told, we just stick to that, we don't delve. That's fine. But the problem comes, what if you have to debate with an atheist? How are you going to use a rational arguments to explain things to him? Because he's obviously going to need rational arguments to understand why we worship God, understand why messengers are sent, understand why there is this concept of qadr. Farah Aslam Sheikh, I am a boy. I want to become an alim. Please guide me I'm in the 9th grade and probably have almost no ilm of the deen right now. So what I would suggest, where do you live? Wherever you live, trying to get in contact with some scholars locally and start studying Arabic. Yeah, definitely. So I'll say find out where you live, your local scholars, get in contact with them, and try to start studying Arabic language from now. I want to be very proficient in Arabic language. Yeah, so first of all, I would say start to read the Arabic language. Sorry, your question was about the grammar, wasn't it? So you don't need to study all of those to be proficient in Arabic language. Like, do you want to just read Arabic books, or do you want to become an expert in the history of grammar? What is it? What do you want to become? Because most people, I'll tell you, 80% of people that study Islamic sciences do not go further and become experts in Arabic grammar, right? There's no need for it, because to become an expert, you obviously have to spend a lot of time, and it doesn't really kind of benefit you in reading books. Reading books can be achieved simply by studying 1 or 2 books of Arabic grammar, and then you're on your way. And I've seen a lot of people that this happens to, when they kind of get this kind of thing in their head that they have to study like 10 books of Arabic grammar to kind of really to be confident to read. No, you don't need to. You can literally, I know people who haven't studied a word of Arabic grammar and can read Arabic books. Wa alaikum assalam, Samo, ahlan wa sahlan. Your journey from when you first graduated, started teaching, to know how have you evolved as a person, the public eye, as an alim, you have professionalism, like you can't share personal life. I don't understand. I'm not sure I understand what you're saying there. Masir Ali, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan, my American brother. Yo, what's happening, man? America. I'm very good, thank you very much. How are you, Masir? Muhammad Umar, wa alaikum assalam. Do you plan to teach in the Sharh Mulhatul I'rab in the future? I don't have a plan for it at the moment. Yeah, I don't have a plan for it at the moment. From the woods, ahlan wa sahlan. What do you think if a masjid did a survey post Jummah to get feedback, for example, on phones? Excellent. I mean, depends what they're doing it for, but possibly a good thing. What about Bayyina TV for learning Arabic? I haven't subscribed to Bayyina TV, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. But if anyone else has, please let us know feedback. Have you heard of Mufti Munir from America? He's on UK tour topics on Ulum al Hadith. Not sure. I might have. I'm not sure. Not sure. Samo is is lam al muti'ah lil qasam, essentially taking an oath like give me a sentence, give me an example of a sentence, and then I'll tell you. So if you give me an example, I'll be able to say. Uthman, ahlan wa sahlan, wa alaikum assalam. Abdul Majid, Bahi, kya hal hai, mere Bahi? Did you go cycling yesterday? Uthman, salam, ahlan wa sahlan. Would you recommend I do hifz along full alimiyah? It all depends on person's capability. I personally tried to do it, and then I had to give up after 2 years because it became too much. I live in Pakistan, Lahore. Yes, so in Pakistan, Lahore, I'm sure there are many places that you can study alim course. Yeah, my brother. So find out over there locally. Ideally, study locally because locally you can actually interact more with the. If someone has a nickname and they have a contract that involves their nickname, such as marriage or something like that, can they use their nickname for the contract? If it's yes, it's fine. Lahore, ahlan wa sahlan. Why can't people who study Nahu and stuff can't really speak the Arabic language? I have no idea. I think it's because they don't know what they're actually achieving out of the Arabic grammar. Right. So if you want to speak, you literally have to speak. There's no other option for that. And if you wanna write, you have to write Arabic. If you don't do these exercises whilst you're learning, you're not gonna become proficient in speaking or writing or anything of that sort. So I think people who study grammar, it's just analytical, isn't it? It's very theoretical. You're studying theories, like learning the theory of swimming, but then not stepping into the pool. I've done 11 juz, and would you recommend I do full-time alimi and finish the remaining 19 juz? Yeah, I would say ideally finish off the 19 juz, then go into alimiya. And on the side, maybe start studying a bit of Arabic. Salams, ahlan wa sahlan Safura, كيف حالك؟ هل أنت بخير؟ ماذا تفعلين الآن؟ Maji, translate for her. Yeah. Safura, do you like my pink pen? Yeah, this is a pink pen I've got. Mufti, have you heard of the seven liberal arts? Are you talking about like logic and philosophy, that kind of stuff? So I am new Muslim and I have learned the basics of Islam. What should I start learning about next? Learn to understand the Quran. Yeah, read the translation of the Quran from cover to cover. If a person's government legal name and they are given as a child were different, how should they proceed with contracts? Legal matters is fine. The contracts do not really, you don't have to write your name in a contract. Yeah, as long as people know who you are, that's sufficient. So having a different name doesn't really matter. Did you have to do a lot of self-learning after you graduated? Yes, I did a lot of learning after I graduated, because I found that when I had studied, I only had like learnt the basics of things. So afterwards, I had to do a lot of learning to really kind of bolster and increase what I understood. Sarf and Nahu, yeah, definitely I went over Sarf and Nahu a lot afterwards. Yeah, because I had to teach it. So when you teach it, you're forced to go over your stuff again. Sadi Nash, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. I was talking with a bro about saying Ameen out loud in Salah. He said there's a narration of Abu Dawood where the walls of the masjid. What do Hanafi say? Yes, so Hanafi say both are jais, but it's more preferred to say it quietly. So both are established from the Sahaba. So when you have two narrations from Sahaba, Imam Hanifa rahimahullah says, I choose one of them, the one that I think is the strongest. So sometimes you might have a practice of Sahaba, for example, like, and then you might have something which kind of like is actually much more stronger than that. So two statements of Sahaba, one might be stronger than the other. So Hanafi say both are jais. You can do it if you like. And in fact, my teacher used to say, if you go to a Shafi mosque, you should read Ameen aloud. Mudassir, ahlan wa sahlan wa alaikum assalam. Looking good. Jazakallah khair. MashaAllah. I'm wearing my white thobe today. My imama on. I don't think the lighting is kind of like up to scratch today. Yeah, because see in the image, this is coming in the image. This is my light. Yeah, this is the light cloth kind of covers that. Jazakallah khair, Sadi Nash. Abdul Majid, no cycling, I've hurt my back. Inna lillah. Why is that? Shafakallah. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi. Oh, is it from the cycling the other day? Maybe it was that. You know what I think it is? It's probably like some muscle to do with the leg is connected to the back. Guarantee you. يا أستاذ كيف حالك؟ شرح ابن عقيل أو أوضح مسالك. So I studied Sharh ibn Aqil. I didn't study Awdal Masalik. I read a bit of it. I would say Sharh ibn Aqil. Yeah, Awdal Masalik is actually, I think, more detailed. Sharh ibn Aqil is. For example, in the Quran, لَإِن لَمْ تَنْتَهُوا لَنَرْجُمَنَّكُمْ. Yeah, so this is for ta'keed, and ta'keeds are a form of qasam. They achieve a form of qasam. Yeah. Lam here is functioning as a, so it has the meaning of oath, but it's not an oath necessarily. Yeah. Bit better today, alhamdulillah. Need to rest. Shafakallah, my brother. Shall I come down by do malish? Yeah, special with my gun, my massage gun. Saqib alaikum assalam, Darshan. Do we have to do wudu when reading the Quran from our phones? There's a difference of opinion among scholars. Ideally, you should. Uthman Ahmad Salam, would you recommend a full-time Hifz student to do other side studies like Arabic? Yes, definitely, 100%. I think every Hifz student should learn the Arabic language. Definitely. She says she is fine and just having an Oreo. MashaAllah, that is such a wonderful thing to do. An Oreo on this nice day. Very good. When are you going to come to Safura? When are you going to come to my house? Have you been to Barbecue Hut, Birmingham? No, actually, Maji has told me about Barbecue Hut. Yeah, Maji was supposed to go to Barbecue Hut, but don't know what happened. Actually, we went to, remember, me and you, that place. That was nice. What are you doing for Jubilee, Maulana? For Jubilee, I'm drinking some tea. This is my Jubilee tea. From the woods, I've started the survey online. I intend to send the results to imams and questions you would like to be added for the survey or anything you are curious to know, public. Yeah, that's actually good. Send me what questions you've written. Good idea. I'll read through it. Salam Mufti, needs some advice. I have no direction at the moment, not with any Islamic institute or masjid, not doing any Islamic course, don't have any connection with scholars. Where to start? So first of all, my brother Taifu, I would say start with learning my Quranic Arabic 17 lessons. So make it your goal that you want to understand what the Quran says. So start with that, and then you can watch like videos, scholars who have gone through the Quran. So I would suggest definitely Quranic Arabic 17 lessons is a brilliant place to start. And then after that, you can see where the direction takes you. Saqib, Masood, Ahlan wa Sahlan. Welcome. Some say we can't follow Abu Yusuf, rather we should only follow him. Is that correct? Yes and no. Yeah, so it's actually much more detailed than that. It's not very black and white like that. It's a layered issue. So technically, the Hanafi madhab obviously is what Abu Hanifa says, but then you have other things, other factors that affect this. That's why you study ifta. You study ifta to understand all of this. If we pray witr behind someone who does two and then one, is that valid? I would say yes. I think you're right, because since Sunday, my calves and quads are sore and then back. Yeah, that's what it is. Basically, that guy who gives on massages, he tells me these kind of things. He said your back muscles are usually compensating for a problem in your leg. So when you have a problem in your leg, it's actually your back that you need to sort out. So you sort out your back because the muscles are trying to work harder than they should be. The malish, that's the way, bro. Aspiring, ahlan wa sahlan. So would you say that niqab is compulsory in today's society? Not necessarily. It would depend on place as well. And the main thing is, look, for a woman when she goes out, she has to remember that there are clearly like things in place in the Quran and the Hadith, which mean that she should show more sort of like covering than men. Yeah, clearly that's clear in the Quran. Yeah, وَإِن يَسْتَعْفِفْنَ خَيْرٌ لَهُنَّ قَرْنَ فِي بُيُوتِكُنَّ. All these ayats and the Prophet ﷺ mentioning about, the best place for a woman to pray her salat is in her home. Right. So all of these indicate that when she's going out, it's like going out is only something which is done as a need, as a necessity. Right. So therefore that would indicate this. So this is why it all differs on place, on women as well. I think a lot of women, I mean, obviously, this is not really kind of like my place to say it, because all women have their own problems. Some women are single mothers. Some women have been brought up in a different way. They haven't been given sort of like, you know, Islamic teachings, and it's just like cultural Islam. So there's a lot of things I think people have going on in their lives, which kind of make it difficult to be able to give like one specific blunt ruling. But yeah, it would be different from based on situation, I would say. And then it's like this whole idea on social media, women are putting their pictures up and things like that. These are kind of things which, it kind of like contradicts this whole idea of like being modest or trying to have this sort of like private life, more private life than public life. But because we're living in the West, there's a lot of other issues as well going on. So it's not a very clear it's not a very like one answer we can give. It's always, I think it should be based upon understanding different situations, so people can have discussion on this and then come to some sort of a better answer. Do you ever come to Aston Uni? Very rarely, maybe like once in a year or something, to give a talk. Thank you, God, for the good fortune. I have been following your teaching since the beginning. Good. Well, Ameen. Jazakallah khair. Umad, may Allah bless you immensely. So, how would you recommend a Hifz student to learn Arabic? Please recommend specific guide. I would say my Quranic Arabic 17 lessons, Brother Uthman. Yeah, Quranic Arabic 17 lessons is definitely something that you should check out. Darshan, Moodley. So anyone who wants to do the Quranic Arabic 17 lessons, it's £15 for the entire course, and it comes with exercises and all of that. Yeah, it's pre-recorded lessons. You do it at your own pace, basically. What are the rules according to Islam about keeping dogs? So you have to have a purpose for it, like a guard dog or anything of that sort. Otherwise, just keeping a dog for no sort of like purpose, this is considered to be something that you shouldn't do. Have you studied the whole Kanzul Daqa'iq? I have studied half of it. Yeah, I've studied from Buyu onwards. Yeah, so from Buyu onwards, I've studied that. Jazakallah khair. It's funny how some of us laymen almost act like the major scholars of the past haven't come across accounted for certain hadiths just because they draw different conclusions. Yeah, that's true. And anyone, by the way, who wants to do my Usul Hadith course, it's 21 lessons. That's free, guys. That's free of charge. So you can try that. Idris Shah, ahla wa sahlan, sanga hal de, khairiyat de. Looking good. Jazakallah khair, mashallah. May Allah bless you. Yeah, so I just went to my mom's house. I got some mint. My dad bought some like mint that's about this tall. Seriously, massive mint. Yeah, so I bought that, and I bought some soil from there. Mom's got some extra soil in bags, so I got that. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, Allah. Yeah, so that's basically been my week. Alhamdulillah. This week I've had in the daytime a bit more free time, so I've been doing a bit of gardening, extra gardening this week, and been doing a lot of jogging as well. So the shoes, I actually bought myself some shoes, running shoes. So if you guys are not familiar with shoes, then for running you need to have different shoes for different terrains, right? Different types of foot as well. I didn't know this before I started jogging, so I actually bought some trainers for about £40, £40 from a shop called Decathlon. Then what happened was I actually went there a few days ago and told them, look, I bought these, and they said, you worn them? I said, yeah, I know, but I was practice trying them out. So they said, okay. I gave them back, and I bought some other ones, some Asics shoes, and they're much better. The sole is much softer, and it's actually much more better for my knees as well. So when you're running on hard ground, on roads, basically pavements, your knees take a lot of the shock, and then this can wear and tear at your knees and cause later problems in your life. So I got those, and alhamdulillah, I did a run. Felt really good. Did a nighttime run. And I would definitely recommend for you guys to do some exercise, even if it's like 10-minute run around your block at night time when no one's watching. No one's gonna watch you. You just go around, run around, enjoy that the cool air as well, and get a bit of a sweat. Yeah, definitely. So I've been doing that this week. Last week, I actually did a ride with brother Abdul Majid and also another brother of ours, Zulfi, and we did 42 miles. So 42 miles ride. It was a long ride since a very long time. Yes, I was quite tired. And also, if you guys are in Birmingham, try this place out called Me You. Okay, Me You is a restaurant, and they sell excellent coffee, tea. Yeah, karak. They say they got the best karak chai in the UK, and the food there is quite good. What I had anyway, chicken. Yeah, it's really nice. What is the Fi Qatar Nada course, Sheikh? I'm not sure. I can't remember what it was. Let me have a check. It's on the. If you go on the website, you'll see it. If you go on the website, it's on the front page of the course. Sharq Qatar Nada. Yeah, so Sharq Qatar Nada is £50 at the moment, but it's gonna go up later. So the moment is £50, and I'm still uploading more videos. So as I make them. From the woods, by the way, do students get access to WhatsApp groups? Good to know for the audience. Also, I've sent over. By the way, do students get access to the WhatsApp group? Good to know for the audience. Also, yeah. So Quranic Arabic one, we have a WhatsApp group for brothers and a WhatsApp group for sisters. They can join on there when they join the Quranic Arabic course. Yeah, definitely. Zob Mufti, is it true that it's not permitted for adults to borrow items from children or take things from them, even if it is just using some itar? I mean, if it's just like a small thing, it's fine. If it's like something serious, like if a child owns a car, you can't just take their car, but you have to get their parents' permission. As long as the parents give you permission for it, then it's fine. Aisha, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, ahlan wa sahlan. Said he need to get the exercise. Yeah, definitely get into the routine. Trust me, you'll feel so good. I mean, seriously, 2 weeks now, I've been I've been doing my exercise, and I feel really good. Like a nice sleep I have, especially when you do exercise before you go to sleep. I heard this once on a talk. There was a guy giving a talk. I think he was a non-Muslim, and he was talking about how he gives presentations and how he gives like like talks basically. He says the night before he does like a 5 mile run. He gets exhausted and then he goes to sleep, and the next day he feels fresh. And I've found that's basically true. Although I don't do a 5 mile run, I think I only do like the maximum is probably like maybe 1.5 mile, 2 miles. I'm going to increase it slowly, but it really helps blood flowing through your body. You're kind of like your body's like sweating, so it's really kind of I found it really beneficial for myself, and I actually found I sleep less now. Yeah, so I don't feel that sluggish. Yes, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's maybe it's just something which is a placebo effect, but it works. Wa alaikum assalam. Kaif, how do the dead are buried in Jannat al in the safe grave? What about the old bodies that are buried while open the grave? They are old bodies also. How do they bury you? I'm not sure. Maybe you'll have to ask someone who actually works there in Saudi. I'm not too sure about that. Arabic. Alaikum assalam. Do you use CBD oil for arthritis? Yes. Any particular brand you would recommend? Well, the one that I use, I used to use one from Holland Barrett's, okay, which was about 3% first, and then I increased to another brand that had. It didn't have like a name on it. It was actually there was a shop near Green Lane. They used to sell it, and then that shop closed down, which is a 12% one. And now I've got this other one, right, which is a 30% one, like a 30% one. The name of it is I can't remember from the top of my head now. Yeah, but I spoke to the guy in the shop, local shop, and he said basically this is the best one that we've got. And there's another thing they've got, which is CBD, like stones, crystals, but that's you have to smoke that. You have like this kind of pipe, you put it in there, and it evaporates, and the smoke that comes out, you breathe that in. But I said, no, I don't want to do that. So I just got this oil. Masir Ali, if you run, you should do some strengthening for your foot or knees. Also, running on grass is good for recovery. And yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I'm gonna try that. So I've seen some people doing like like the wall toe exercises, where they push their backs, like in madrasa they used to do like the kind of kursi, make you sit. So they do that, and it strengthens the quads. Yeah, and then you kind of do your toe exercises to strengthen your calves as well. So yeah, I'm gonna try that. Tell us about your headphones. Headphones, very good, mashallah. I've been using them consistently, and these headphones help me a lot, especially cycling. Really good in cycling. I can hear all around me. Battery lasts quite well as well. Um, Obviously, like I told you, when there's heavy traffic around, you can't hear. Yeah, they do provide these kind of earbuds for them that you put them in your ear, and then you can hear better, and it does work. Otherwise, yeah, it's very like discreet as well, so it doesn't kind of seem as though you've got earphones on. Um, Besides that, I mean, I can't really kind of see any kind of problems with it so far. Yeah, it's been very good for me, especially like when I speak to people, I'm on the phone and picking up the phone in my hand, just kind of like it's become a habit now that I don't like picking up the phone in my hand. So I had to put my earphones on and I can talk for ages without even feeling a thing. So I would recommend this for someone who even doesn't do exercise but speaks a lot on the phone. Right, I would definitely recommend this for them as well. Especially when you're doing gardening or something, and you get a phone call or you want to listen to something. Or I generally use it for listening to Quran or listen to like audiobooks. Yeah, it's just very kind of. I mean, I've been using earphones for 3 4 years now. My other earphones are these ones. Yeah, these are my other earphones, and they're okay. They're good. These are the ones that you put in your ear, right inside the ear, and it's good. It's good. I mean, it's not that bad. But the mic on here is not as good as the mic on here. The mic is very good, I would say. Al Basira, True Vision. Alaikum assalam. I hope you're well. This is Isla from Thailand, coming after a very long time. Where can I get Usul Hadith lessons? Send the email, inshallah. Ahlan wa sahlan, brother Islah. MashaAllah. May Allah beautify your eyes. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Yes, definitely. Send the email in to here, and then I'll give you access to it, inshallah. Jundullah, alaikum assalam, my brother Jundullah. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Welcome, my brother. What's happening, man? I saw a tweet. You said that the point of Dars Izami is to be able to read books like Fathul Bari. How do you recommend an Alimiya student to achieve this and other? Yeah, so this is something which is very important. Actually, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to explain some of the tweets I put up this week. Yeah, because I think a lot of times people do ask me. I have a habit where if someone in the comments asks me to explain something, I'm not going to explain it. Yeah, because I don't like this kind of like, I know it's not a good thing, but I don't like this back and forth in comments, unless it's just like a little joke I'm saying. So I'll explain it, inshallah, here. When I teach, or I'm, obviously teaching in the Alimiya course with other teachers, when I teach students a book, I always have a goal in my head of what skill I want them to achieve at the end of the year. So, for example, like the students that I teach in Dawra Hadith, they can read Fathul Bari without problem. They can read it. I give them exercises from it. They read from Umdatul Qari sometimes. They read from Ma'rif al-Sunan sometimes, Tuhfat al-Ahwadi, these kind of books. And it's something which this teacher has to, get the students trained up from early years. So I actually start getting the students trained up from third year. So from third year, I get them to read external books. Right? So we have a subject, an issue in Quduri. I get them to read like something in Radd al-Muhtar Ibn Abidin, or for example in Binaya, or Jawharat al-Nayira. And in Usul Hadith, I get them to read like something in I don't know, Alfiyat al-Iraqi, or maybe even Tadrib al-Rawi. I get them to read that, so they get used to reading these books. So a lot of students, I think, they can easily do it if the teacher takes that time to kind of get the students to read and checks their reading. Otherwise, unfortunately, I think there's a lot of madrasas where this doesn't happen, where you'll simply just have a teacher come in, or do like a monologue, teach his lesson, get up, walk out, and he does this every day until the end of the year. And then It's like students have written lots of notes, but that's not what Alimiya is not about making notes, because those notes you can get from books. Alimiya is about inculcating in them skills, like developing inside of them really good skills. At the end of the year, you can see they've got this skill that they can't have outside. They couldn't have gained it easily outside. That's the thing. So at Sufa Institute, that's what we do. We make a lot of effort on them gaining skills. Malhi wa alaikum assalam. What is the ruling about tattoos in Islam? Not permitted. If a person has had tattoos, then they don't have to take them off. Yeah, if it's painful. But you can't have tattoos in Islam. Who's your best nasheed artist? At the moment, I think best nasheed artist. I don't know. There's not like some. I mean, I was listening to this one that sounded really nice, but I can't. They've copied like an English. They've copied an English song, but they've just put like their words in there. Omar Isa is very good. I like Omar Isa. He's very nice. And there's a lot of Urdu ones that I listen to as well. When last you got to speak to Shoki from Thailand? Oh, a very long time. Yeah, very. I mean, I haven't spoken to him since I left Pakistan. Liquor FC, brother, I'm looking for the playlist for learning how to read the Quran on your channel. Yes, I will give it to you now, my brother. Yeah, I'll give it to you now. So those of you guys who know anyone who wants to learn how to read the Quran from scratch, yeah, I've actually got a whole series that I've made for this, and I'm still making it, still putting them up. How to read Quran. There you go. Right. Yusuf, was Junaid Jamshed an alim? No, he wasn't alim, to my knowledge. Or did he study in? I said no, he wasn't. He was a singer, former singer, and then he started practicing Islam and he gave it all up. If your parents keep a mutual fund for your college education, but some of the stocks may be haram, am I allowed to use that money to go college? What I would say is that if you find out how much of that is haram, then later on give that much in charity. So use that money now, but then later on give that money in charity. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Jonathan A.C. Brown says we look at authentic hadith through both chain and topic. Topics on inheritance in Bukhari are more authentic than topics on the signs of Yawm al-Qiyamah. Possibly, yeah. Possibly. I mean, depends exactly what he means, but Imam Ahmad says something similar. If I'm able to read those books as per your Twitter phase, does that mean I'm basically an alim? Yeah, that's what it means. Yeah. If you're able to read them and understand them thoroughly, that's it. You've achieved. So in the alim course, you've achieved what you're meant to achieve. See, the thing is, technically, you can do the whole alim course on your own, self-study. But the biggest problem with self-study is you don't know if you could make a big mistake. You don't know when you're making a big mistake. So studying from a teacher is to ensure that you're not making big mistakes. That's it. What's your email address? So it's on the screen. It's learningdeen@gmail.com. So learning deen, and the deen is instead of 2 E's, it's 2 number 3's. What is the ruling on temporary tattoos? Can water go through them? Yes, I'm not too sure about different types of temporary tattoos, but if it's like creates a barrier, then no, you can't. You gotta take it off. If a person has a weird head shape, he's very insecure. Could he get a scalp pigmented to kind of cover the deformality? Possibly, yes. What's the difference between Sunni and Shia Muslims? This is a big topic. I would suggest listening to Londoniya series by Muhammad Hijab. So Muhammad Hijab has actually talked about this. So if someone can find the series, Londoniya, a whole hour's discussion on Shiaism. He talks about it. So find that. Type in Londoniya, Muhammad Hijab, Shiaism. Jazakallah khair. Is there any specific dua to be recited after Fard Salat? No, there isn't anything which is specific to recite. The Prophet ﷺ would generally recite Allahumma anta salam wa minka salam tabarakta ya dhal jalali wal ikram. Sufyan, ahlan wa sahlan, my brother Sufyan, long time no see, man. How's things? How's Derby going? How's family? Everyone good? I need to do a chakkar. I need to do a chakkar to Derby. What is Twitter phase? Twitter phase? Don't understand. Salam Sheikh, can using a toothbrush instead of miswak before wudu? Yes. Now I feel like a cool Molvi. That's it, bro. That's it, man. Hyderabadis. Would you recommend starting off with low concentration CBD and build it up? It's for my mum who hasn't used CBD. So, I mean, look, I'm not a doctor. I don't want to kind of prescribe something, but first of all, get it checked out by someone if your mom can take it, because for some people, CBD is not good for them. That's what I've heard from people. So just make sure she doesn't have underlying issues that might be aggravated by CBD. Start off with low concentration, and then develop it slowly. Like I've got a friend who takes 50% or 60% content. Yeah, you can get 100% as well. Again, you don't want to kind of overdo it. Do you think Alimia course give the impression to students that they will be experts in every subject? Yes, 100%. I think that is a misleading. That's a misleading thing. What's the best dua for tahajjud prayer? Best dua is ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Haider Ali, is there a takhasus for Islamic history? That'd be excellent. I don't know of any, but if someone did start it, I think it's an excellent thing for people to do, like a history takhasus. Yeah, going through like history books and all that. I don't think you'd find a takhasus for it. I think you'd have to study history. Because history is a very strange thing, because it's reports, isn't it? And reports from different people have their own inclinations to in it. Yeah, so there's their own bias. So maybe they should not call it Alimiya then. See, the thing about Alimiya is when they call it Alimiya, they mean it's like the steps to becoming an alim. Okay, let's call it something else then. Whatever you call it, like a doctor course, medical course, yeah, doctor course. When they qualify, they're not a doctor in the sense that they can solve all problems. They learn the skills. So I don't see a problem with calling it Alimiya. The thing is, if you're not going to produce students who are strong enough to read the books, don't call them Alimiya. That's what I would say. So if you have a track record, there should be like some checks done with madrasas. If they're qualifying students and they don't have the skills to actually further their journey, in that case, no one's an alim. In reality, no one's an alim then, because to be a true alim, you'd have to study for like 40 years, 50 years, 60 years. I'm quite indecisive, so I flip a coin often to make a choice, and I think that yes, permissible. And tell people you will get a basic understanding of each subject, inshallah. Foundation can study further. Ideally, I mean, obviously, ideally, but the problem is, what about those other foundation courses which are really watered down? What are you going to call them? Right. So you need to have something which is, you need to have something. I don't see a problem with calling it Alimiya. That's what I'm saying. But the thing is, I think people's mindset needs to be made to understand. Like maybe you can call it a BA Alimiya course. You can call it a Master's Alimiya course. You can call it something of that sort, where people can understand there's different levels of it. The problem is, there's a lot of madrasas out there who simply just like churn out like students, and a lot of them are young kids, like teenagers, 17-year-olds qualifying, 18-year-old qualifying, and it's like that's not really an Alimiya course, because it's not just about churning them out. It's about, do they have the skills to be able to, tackle problems in the society? That's what it is. Yeah, so ilmiya, yeah. Call it ilmiya, mashallah. Yeah, so you can hear the birds outside. Yeah, the birds are making a noise outside. I was watching something about the minimum standards to become an alim or be called one. It was very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think generally the public will always see. Remember this, okay? Public do not, the public do not measure people according to what they've studied. Public measure people according to their fame or what people say about them. So let's say there's a guy, let's call him Mr. X. Mr. X, people are always talking about Mr. X's knowledge and talking about Mr. X said this and Mr. X said this. After a year, Mr. X, even if he hasn't met those people, they will automatically think that they are experts, that he's an expert. Yeah, they're going to think he's an expert. So I think the problem lies in a lot of online sort of like um, a lot of online what do you call it, sort of advertising that goes on, where people are the ones that are giving a person status. A guy might know nothing, might not understand the sciences, and he just might be famous in just like giving talks, right? And unfortunately, this is what happens when people do this. So you have to remember, general public, their measure for someone being an expert is always based upon how well known or how many times they hear that guy's name in Islamic circles. That's what it is. And in reality, the measure is obviously something else. If I spend money on my Alimiya studies, will this be considered sadaqah? Of course. Sometimes in these Alimiya courses, they promise they will teach this book, but this is not quite as expected. A lot of marketing, yeah. Unfortunately, that's the thing. I personally think, I mean, someone gave me a list of a whole list of madrasas in the UK. And I personally think there needs to be like a survey done of all of them. So things you need to check in them. How many students they have? What age average student? How many years course do they have? What subjects are taught there? What skills do they have when they finish? Um, so these kind of basic things, I think, if you kind of have some sort of survey done and you go around all the madrasas, at least parents, if they want to put their kids into a madrasa, can understand that this is not a full Alimiya course. This is just like an Islamic studies course. Yeah, that's fine. That would be a good thing to do. Um, do you know dua to protect from showing off? No, I don't know any. Mr. X from Resident Evil. Your mind would go there, any. So it puts a lot of pressure for those who do Alimiya to do further study, as public may ask certain questions and they are not expert in the topic. Yeah, definitely. I think that's the whole point. That is the whole point, that there's people need to the people before they join them, they need to understand at the end of it, what are you going to skill you're going to gain, and then this needs to be checked every year. Zakir Naik's classic case, that's it. Yeah, people can just be, I mean, literally, you do this yourself. Just like take some pictures or some Islamic pictures of yourself, put it up regularly, put up some nice quotes next to it, get other people to just kind of like share them and keep saying your name in their gatherings. And it's just like marketing, advertising. You spread your name, and then when enough people hear your name and you reach the critical mark, then you just become famous. MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair from the woods. May Allah bless you immensely. We can discuss the survey, definitely, inshallah. Inshallah. Jazakallah khair, very kind donations. May Allah bless you. Yeah, guys, it means a lot to me when you guys show love to my channel and you guys support my channel, because I want to produce all the videos that you guys need to be able to learn about the deen. Yeah, and especially those people who are studying and want external sort of like supplementary. In fact, today I met two guys. Yeah, mashallah, two Maulanas. One was from Brunei and one was from Canada, who actually studying in Turkey. So they came to meet me before Jummah. Alhamdulillah, I had a nice discussion with them, and they knew me from, I don't know, from other students of mine, and maybe from the YouTube channel as well. Oh, in fact, guess what happened? You'll be surprised at this. Yeah, the Majid was with me on Sunday. So on Sunday, we went to this place to eat, and when we were ordering, Maghrib time came. So we asked the guys, "Can we go and pray upstairs?" So we went upstairs to pray, and then there was an elderly gentleman who prayed with us as well. After we finished praying, the elderly man comes to me and says to me, "Are you an imam?" And I said, "No, I'm not an imam." And then he goes, "Oh, do you kind of like have a YouTube channel?" I go, "Yeah, I got a YouTube channel." He goes, "Oh," he goes, "So his daughter recognized me." So he basically, his daughter and his wife, and they'd come to Birmingham. I think there was some marriage going on. They were gonna get married, so they're buying stuff for the marriage, for the nikah. And the daughter recognized me, and then the father came to me and spoke to me and asked me about the channel and all that kind of stuff. So look how weird world. And they're actually from another part of the UK. So small world, different areas, people, get to know you. And I think that's that's the good thing. I see that as a good thing. Yeah, because in reality, if you think about this, if you're passionate about something, if you have learned a skill, and you nowadays in this world today, you can actually on YouTube, you can actually show people the skill that you know. Yeah, you can actually show them the skill, and basically they can see your credentials, they can see what you can do. Like for example, now people can see, for example, like this is obviously, I'm not saying this to boast or anything like that, you know, may Allah protect us all. But if someone wants to see, okay, does this guy know hadith? I've got videos on hadith. Does this guy know tafsir? I've got videos on tafsir. Does this guy know usul hadith? I've got videos on usul hadith. Does this guy know this, that, that? You can actually see, check for yourself. If you're happy to study, you can study that. That's the thing that you can't get with a lot of scholars, because you don't see behind the veils of how much skill they have, or what they've learnt. All you're going to see most likely is maybe a talk of theirs, or maybe people speaking about them, or like their tweets or their posts that they put up on social media. Yeah. And this is why, if we can have more transparency with scholars, if scholars had like platforms like this and they could provide their, you can say, okay, you know what, look at this. This is something which a lot of people are happy with. A lot of people have done this. This seems to be something that you can do. So we need a lot of transparency with this kind of alimiya courses and all of that, I would say. Wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, Hasib. Sharif, alaikum assalam. Is there any training iftar that helped with development clear judgment other than mantiq? I think, you know, if you know, like maybe Sapiens Institute does something. Sapiens Institute, because they do a lot of philosophy and, you know, debates and all that. So maybe check them. I'm not too sure. And the brothers that I was speaking to today, mashallah, they actually studied in Turkey, and they were studying ilm al-kalam with a lot of the experts of the world over there. And mashallah, the brother, he, you know, was very sort of was very clear about what he wants to achieve with ilm al-kalam, right? So, you know, this idea of understanding how to rationally break down arguments and rationally proving Islam. That's a thing that we need in our time today. By the way, if anyone who does want to watch on ilm al-kalam, really good videos, check out Sheikh Hamza Karamali. Sheikh Hamza Karamali. Yeah, check him out. Yeah, and very good videos he's got. I have seen that big list of Alimiya courses. I bet I'm about to become the biggest speed star of America. You're welcome, my brother. You're welcome. Yeah, I'll be your friend. Do you think there should be an exam board for all of them? Of course, I think they should be standardized. There needs to be like an external body that needs to be brought in. Maybe if a group of scholars can create an external body, and then they independently are called into these madaris, and then this can actually be a means of marketing as well. I mean, if you want to market your madrasa, what a better way than to get a reliable group of scholars that comes down, assesses, does a whole auditing check, and can do all of that. I read that Maulana Ashraf Thanwi rahimahullah would ask verbal questions for exams and would let students look for answers if they did not know, as it showed they did their mutala. That's a good way. Excellent. Well, I think that's excellent. Newport, Wales, that's where they were from. Yeah. Sheikh, could you please make sure Qatar and Nada available on YouTube, because some people are unable to pay the fee? Yeah, once inshallah I've completed the whole thing, inshallah I'll make it available. But that's going to be in several years. The thing is, look, a lot of times what happens is when I put free content up, people don't appreciate free content. And I'm not saying all of you guys, but I'm saying a lot. I've seen this myself. And what tends to happen is they don't see the importance of going through them. Yeah. Whereas, like, you know, when you have like people have to dedicate some money to something, and the courses, I don't charge like a foot and a leg for it, or an arm and leg. But it's that thing, isn't it? It's like when you put your money where your mouth is. If you're willing for £50, it's like a meal, 2 meals for some people. And this is like, if people dedicate, then they're more serious because they paid money. They're going to go through the courses, videos. Unfortunately, that's what I see. If I graduate and don't feel competent, what can I do independently? Just to restudy some of the things that you feel weak in. Mashallah, he's a very good Sheikh Hamza. He's moved to Turkey. Yeah. Wa alaikum assalam, Muhammad Prairie. Ahlan wa sahlan, marhaban. We'll be going to England next week. Ahlan wa sahlan, marhaban. Welcome to our country. You're going to miss the Jubilee. How are the exams at Sufa? Exams at Sufa, we have a whole range of exams. So we have oral exams, we have written exams for different subjects. We have throughout the year presentations. We have some of the subjects monthly exams. We have assignments. So all of this goes towards the final mark. So we have like a whole like a diversity of way of assessing the students. A potential solution: give the free course to someone who asks. Exactly, that's what I do. And the way I do is like this. And look, it doesn't work out as well. I say to people, I will give you the first lesson. You just have to write the notes up for me, and then they'll say, okay, we'll do it. They do like 1 or 2 lessons and they give up. So I have yet to see someone who I've given a free course to or completed the whole task. Do you think exams cause too much stress and maybe a better way, Maulana Ashraf Thanvi? Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that exams need to be reassessed. Exams need to be reassessed. The thing we have to remember is not like there's certain skills we want to gain in someone, and exams is just a way of recalling information. And recalling information isn't really a good way of testing whether a person's learned it or not. So this is why it's important to have a different variety of exams. Like for example, some of my exams I do in all my fiqh exams, I do open book exam. So they have the book open in front of them, they have a question, and they have to use the book to find the answer. So my Hidayah exams, Kuduri exams are open book exams. They're quite hard, but it kind of shows me the thoroughness of them knowing the masala. Do you know Sheikh Muhammad Fawaz Namir? He has about 7 years of his classes in the Umayyad Mosque. Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah, mashallah. There's too many literary things happening in Turkey this summer related to ilm. Yeah, mashallah. May Allah protect Turkey. But mashallah, excellent things going on in Turkey. And I think that's the kind of spirit that we need to have. We need to have people or places opening up things like this. Like, it's strange how Turkey's become taken over from like Syria, but it's unfortunately what's happened in Syria has opened up things for Turkey. There were experts from Syria have now moved to Turkey, and now they're teaching over there. Your open book a bit like yeah, I mean that's in fiqh. I personally think, because in fiqh I always tell students, if you miss my lessons, you're going to struggle in exams, because some students are really good at catching up on notes, but then if they miss the discussions we have in class, right, then in the exam they're going to find it hard to be able to kind of demonstrate those kind of like skills they've learned in class. What sharab mishkal do you advise? Something that focuses on the ikhtilaf of different madahib, but a bit shorter than mirqat. There's one called Ta'liq al-Sabih. It doesn't really go into ikhtilafs. Ta'liq al-Sabih. Ta'liq al-Sabih is good. Yeah, by Maulana Idris Khan Delvi. Yeah, that's good. There's also like, you can get like the original, Masabih Sunan. Yeah, there's a lot of commentaries on there, like Tur Bushti's commentary on there. And I think, who else has got a commentary on there? I think Daftar Zani's got commentary on there as well. Yeah, there's quite a few commentaries. Ibn Malik, he's got a commentary on there as well. But yeah, Ta'liq al-Sabi is the Arabic one, very good. MashaAllah, Jazakallah khair, Maji, may Allah bless you. May Allah bless you in this world and the next. And put barakah in your time and your efforts and give you shifa. What sharh of Mishkala? Would you ever do hijrah to Turkey? I don't know, maybe. I mean, if for example, like my online teaching goes very well, I'm able to sustain myself, support myself, maybe in the future I might, because then I can work from anywhere. So that's the thing. So trying to have like income and then trying to teach and all of these kind of things, that's the only problem that's probably holding a lot of people back from. But yeah, it would be a good idea. I wouldn't mind, definitely. In a podcast I heard Sheikh Hamid Mahmood saying the only thing madrasa took from British are the exam. Yeah, it sounds good. Jazakallah khair, Maji, may Allah bless you. Okay, let me explain some of the tweets that I put up today, and then I'll finish. Yeah, so I put some tweets up this week, and I just want to explain to you guys like what I meant by them. So, for instance, like, so this is one I put up today. Yeah, any form of preservation necessitates regular analysis and testing. Islam has been constantly challenged both externally and internally. The main body of scholars will always be the barometer of true Islamic representation, except for our Prophet ﷺ, no one is perfect. So what did I mean by this then? So what basically I meant was sometimes when we see like internal issues happening with Muslims, like let's say there's a guy who pops up and starts saying really, heretic sort of like statements or things which are very against orthodox Islamic teaching, um, then what we have to remember is this is sometimes a way of the preservation of deen, because when that person pops up, then the scholars are able to respond and the people get to see what the correct view is. And likewise, scholars start to train more. So they use that as a case study to actually try and understand that particular issue more. So let's say someone denies Dajjal or someone denies certain things in Islam, then this actually becomes an easy way to be able to actually galvanize your understanding of Islam. And this has actually happened throughout history. We fail to understand, even in the time of Imam Malik and Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Shafi, there were people who were saying all sorts of strange things, but then that's how the scholarship became stronger. Yeah. So it's like imagine it like you know like uh, like a timeline, and then like a rope, and the rope becomes a bit loose, and then all of a sudden when an incident happens, the rope becomes tighter. Yeah, because people start focusing more on that particular science, and then the rope becomes loose, and then it becomes tighter. And the Prophet ﷺ also said that um, the Prophet ﷺ said that the day of judgment, said, until the day of judgment, every 100 years a mujaddid will appear. Yeah, someone who will strengthen the deen once again and protect it from the distortions of the people who want to distort and the corrupt teachings of those who are corrupt. So again, this is a very sort of like important thing, I think. Okay, that was one. Another one that I put up a few days ago. Uh, yeah, okay. So this is one that I put up, which was being fit and healthy was part of our Prophet ﷺ's lifestyle, peace be upon him. The abstinence sunnahs, according to the abstinence sunnahs, yeah, abstinence sunnahs means those sunnahs which where you basically stay away from something. Yeah, so like there's sunnahs which you do something, and there's those sunnahs which you actually don't do something. Are the least appealing. Generally, people are least inclined towards these things. Right now, this does not mean that some of the sunnahs are least appealing that we don't like. It just means naturally human tendencies. Like for example, like fasting. A lot of people don't like fasting, and Allah in the Quran says, "Asa an tuhibbu shay'an wa huwa sharrun lakum, wa asa an takrahu shay'an wa huwa khairun lakum." Maybe you love something is bad for you. Maybe you dislike something that's good for you. So there might be certain rulings in Islam that you don't like, but they're actually good for you, right? So not liking them doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's just you don't like kind of feel like doing them. So, like for example, fasting on occasions, controlling your anger as well as abstaining from abandoning Muslim confrontation. Like for example, if you're kind of like uh, debating with someone, arguing, and the Prophet ﷺ said, you're right, but you step down from that confrontation. There's a high place in Jannah prepared for you. So it's important for us to understand when to step back, when to not follow on a debate, right? Knowing that the harms outweigh the goods of it. So this was another one that I put up. And maybe I don't know. Maybe tomorrow I'll put a few more. If anyone does have any sort of questions on some of the tweets I put up, I can explain them in my live streams. Yeah, for those who want to know. How many subjects Al Taftazani master? Yeah, exactly. This guy's mashallah polymath. Yeah, Sadiq, where did you state you have an Usul Hadith lessons on YouTube? So send an email. It's not on YouTube. It's in a private class, but it's free of charge, and you get access to it. Interesting. Why Scotland? Don't ask, bro. Don't ask. This is a fitna. I've never heard a Jumma bayan on importance of diet and exercise. Yeah, definitely. I think maybe my next one will be that. I think my next, because I've been doing a lot of exercise, I think my next one is going to be about this. Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. May Allah bless you immensely. And look at this. I think I've got sunburn. My arm has gone very, very tan today. I did a lot of gardening today. And I think because being in the sun kind of made it really, really, it's really itchy. Anyway, I hope you guys have one. And check out the videos that I made this week. Yeah, check out Monday, I put up learning how to read the Quran. Tuesday, I put up a hadith. This was a good hadith as well about zuhud, the concept of zuhud in Islam. Wednesday, we put up Ali radiallahu anhu's poetry. And Thursday, actually, didn't put anything up Thursday today. No, I didn't. Yeah, because Thursday was Jubilee. And Thursday was quite busy. Friday, inshallah. Today's Friday, I put this up. And hopefully, I'll be putting up the Manfluti as well. May Allah bless all of you guys. The ribeye one. You like the ribeye one, yeah? Yeah, ribeye. I need to. My cousin Said was telling me about some other type of steak that I need to try. Yeah, so Said, if you're watching, bro, I need to try the other steak. Tell me some good places where I can try that. May Allah reward you. Thank you for allowing. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Jazakumullah khair. Thank you very much for watching. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, inshallah, for the Q&A. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.